beginning of this video. Anyway, hello folks. It is May 11th, 2023. It is about 11:15 in the morning. It's a borderline visibility day. Well, there's a good, if you're looking back into the sun, there's a good 7-10 miles at the most visibility. But the sun behind you could be a little bit more. So it's like, if you look straight up, it's a blue sky with very thin layer of cirrus clouds that are way up there. It's not really a ceiling here. You look up in the horizon, it looks like, there could be the same thing, very high white cirrus clouds. So it's questionable if there's I would say no. If you're going to do VFR flying in a small airplane, it doesn't look like a ceiling, and it doesn't look like there'd be any weather issues within, say, 50 to 100 miles. So stay current on cross country. Yeah, to stay current, every 90 days you got to do a cross country with a full landing at an airport that's at least 50 nautical miles away from from where you're taking off. You can do that today. Just my general impression, it looks like you can do that today. Is it a perfect Cavu day? No. Because it looks like there's some haze, and it's like the haze of summer starting to settle in. Very possible. I hear, sounds like a helicopter, but I don't see it. All right, this place is busier than I thought it was. It seems like aviation industry as much bad news as there's been on the economy, on financial institutions. They're supposed to keep track of their money. One bank after another is going under now. And that idiot Janet Yellen, man, somebody should suggest she retire in a very direct way. Like, you ever know, hey Janet, you ever realize how much the word retire rhymes with fire? Fire, retire, fire, retire, fire, retire. Retire before you get fired. Oh, the government really can screw up money. Yeah, whew, it's amazing. Yeah, so Tesla is tanking. I wouldn't say like plummeting. At least it's not a waterfall like it was last December. Good grief. When a stock goes into waterfall mode, it's hard to understand what to do. But what I did, I was pleased with. It's just that I didn't do it far enough. So what I did when I started cascading down, it's like a plane doing a nosedive. The price of Tesla last November, December, going straight down. Nothing to do with fundamentals. What an opportunity that was. Anyway, so I sold at $267 and I bought back in at $141 with a limit order. But it went down another 40 points. 40 from 141. So it went fundamentally from like 3 and change down to 100, which is like 70% or something. It's like insane. And when you see something like that, typically there's no fundamental reason, especially for Tesla. There's no logic to it at all. People are just scared shitless. I get it. I know. I felt that way myself sometimes, but not in this case. And I really didn't want to sell, but I did. because I was low on cash, which is a very good reason to sell. You have got to keep some cash in there, like a minimum of 13-14% tip, preferably 20-25%. But when the market's moving like it is now, you want to be ready to buy undervalued stock like Meta. I missed that boat. Facebook, good lord, man, they doubled in the past 3 months. I think a huge company. All right, so I was with a small group of people the other day. I really don't want to talk about it. Well, a question was posed. What if? What would you do if you knew you'd get away with it? Would you rob a bank? Now, when you say you knew you'd get away with it, it doesn't mean that nobody gets hurt. But a deity came to you and said, you can take a gun and go rob that bank and you'll get away with it. Would you do it? I'll tell you what, the Murdaugh murders, the double murder, which I will never be able to get my head around. And I understand, the guy was greedy, he's self-centered. His well-being was more important than anybody's. And he's up to his neck in embezzlement, and he hadn't been caught in over a decade. He's up to his neck. He's going to be going to jail for the embezzlement. He'll be going to jail for a long time. They don't soft pedal that kind of crime anymore. Thank goodness, man. People that steal like he did. But now, he's looking at the situation thinking, all right, well, how do I get out of this? A guy like him always thinks that they can get work their way out of it. Always. No matter how bad things are. And so he thinks to himself, how do I get myself out of this, man? How do I draw attention away from the embezzlement? I know I'm going to make people feel sorry for me and my family by murdering my wife and my son. Nobody would ever believe that I would do something like that. So that's what I'm going to do. The guy, and he pulls this shit in Singapore. he's going to be strung up. He's going to have a necktie party. I'd say within 3 months at the most, they would take to get that punishment expedited. So, if you could get away with it, what would you rob a bank? Would you steal $1 million? The theft of $1 million is not clear whether that'll come from a company, an institution, or an individual. Would you steal $1 million from an individual? Would you? If you knew you were going to get away with it? Many would say, who is the individual? You don't know that. You don't know that. All you know is that you're going to get away with it. That's it. Would you do it? And I can already say that there's a significant part of the population that absolutely would do that. I'm going to say 15 to 20%. It'd be higher number of people that would do that if they knew who they were stealing it from. Oh, I'm stealing it from Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Larry Ellison, Ron Barron. Sure. $1 million more or less to them is nothing. $1 million to me is life changing. How about somebody that just acquired $1 million by chance? An inheritance, lottery. Would you steal $1 million from them? You already know you're going to get away with it. The answers are really interesting. And there were 5 people at the table. 1 out of 5 said yeah, they would. I'm sorry, 1 out of 5 said no. Regardless of the situation, they're not going to steal. One wouldn't say. 2 said they would as long as no individuals were hurt or affected, and 1 said no matter what, yeah, if I know I'm going to get away with it, I'll do it. Now, keep in mind, somebody says that. When push comes to shove, they may not do it. Alec Murdaugh, not only would he steal from his firm and from his clients, stealing from his clients. I laugh because well, just let me say up front, I despise guys like him and people, human beings like him, that'll just steal like that and they don't care, who they hurt. As long as he's okay. It reminds me of a former president that just got shoehorned the hell out of the White House. The guy should be in jail. As long as he's okay and everything's right with the world. When he comes under fire, oh, that's fraud, that's a criminal, you can't do that to me. My initials are DT. My initials are AM, Alec Murdaugh, DT. You know who that is. No, I can never do anything wrong. I can feel up women, I can rape them, I can molest them. They can't do anything about it. That guy, Donald Trump, is definitely guilty of women molesting women on an airplane he doesn't even know. And there's too many reports with too many details and specifics, and too much context involved to say, no, he couldn't have done it. Yeah, he did it all right. There's no doubt in my mind. He was bragging about being able to kill somebody in the middle of Manhattan and get away with it. Look, his minions, I can't explain them. Except that their brains stopped working. And they're not taking a good objective look at this guy in this situation. Anyway, should I take the dog out for another walk? What time is it? 11 o'clock. Yeah, why not? I hope you're all having a decent day. There's not much going on here. I already got a jet taking off and I missed one. The dog spilled my coffee. And I got mad at him. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't the dog's fault. He didn't do it on purpose. Good grief. Anyway, live and learn. Peace out, y'all. Take care.